Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It is like 7 in the morning. It is too early to be awake, but if I don't do this now, I will be thinking about it all day. So we do it. You know the drill though. Before we get started, go grab something to drink, grab some water or some tea, and then come back. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. Now starting off with something I've probably already done once today, even though I've only been awake half an hour. You ever forget what you're doing and you just stand there loading? Sometimes it feels like we're like the Sims characters, and we got the order but it didn't really get transmitted, so we're just standing there like we were supposed to do something, but no one knows what. Oh well. Okay, does anyone make weighted blankets in colors other than mental illness gray? To be honest, I sleep with mine, so I always have sheets around them. But I don't think so. I've seen ads for weighted plushies, which are obviously less depressing than just grey because they're kind of cute animals, but I'm not sure they work as well because the blanket is like everywhere. And the plushie is only like on your chest. Does it make it feel worse, or does it actually help? Has someone tested them? To this day, my mom was like, I don't think you have ADHD. I think you just gotta focus a little. Okay, I can understand your Honda Civic brain can start on command, mother, but I have a unicycle for a frontal lobe and the devil rides its pedals. That is probably the only response she deserves, because the people that are like, oh, you can just focus harder. Like, you just need to focus. Everyone can do it. Like, people are different in general, even if someone doesn't have ADHD, and just focusing for someone with ADHD, it doesn't work. And you have no idea how much we wish it would work, because it's frustrating to us. It's also frustrating to you, obviously, if you tell us to do something and we're not doing it. And the more you tell us, the less we're actually gonna do it, so maybe don't, you know? I'll remember is the ADHD demon talking. You won't remember. Write it down. Bold of you to assume I'll remember where I wrote it, yet alone that I wrote it. Yeah, honestly, I have found notes on my phone, because I was like, well, on my phone I'll find it, right? If I have it in my notes, like, I constantly look into my notes for certain things, right? Like I have my gym plan in there, I have my grocery shopping list in there, because otherwise I'm gonna forget. That's fine, but if I write anything random in there, I'm gonna find it like a month later and be like, yeah, right, we were meant to do that. So if it's short things, I'll just write it in chalk on my calyx. It has like black doors, so I can like easily see it when I walk past it. But that's only for short-term things. If it's something that's further away, I am fucked. Okay, honestly, the weirdest ADHD feeling is zoning out while you're talking, because when you come back, you're somehow still talking and the other person is still listening, but you have no idea what you said because you were autopilot. Ooh. Oh, I'm glad it's been a while. God, I can't even remember the last time that happened, but it's really weird. And also, like, even if you are zoned in, you won't remember what you said afterwards. And then the whole, wait, did I already tell you, comes in. Oh well. Me, begging my ADHD, can I please do laundry? I'm almost out of clean clothes, and I need pants for work. Even one load would be good. My ADHD, lounging on a sun chair, sipping my medication like nectar. I'll think about it. Maybe in a while at like 11 at night. Then you can do laundry. Okay, laundry is a tricky one. Because if it's like doing the dishes or something that you need to do, you can do that at 11 at night. But if you live like in an apartment complex, you can't just start doing the laundry in the middle of the night. Your neighbors will kill you. They won't, obviously, but seriously, don't do it. Because honestly, can you imagine trying to sleep, especially if like kids living near you, and then you start doing the laundry at like 11 and it's super loud? Unless it's like in a basement where no one else can hear it. In that case, take it. take it, do whatever you can, but oh my god. ADHD, please. Okay, I got my phone, wallet, and keys, but I still feel like I'm forgetting something. It do be like that. For me, it's still the thing. Everyone's like, how can you forget? Like, you just do it by reflex. Deodorant and brushing my teeth. Literally, it's less obvious, obviously, than walking out naked, but it's still frustrating, right? Because then you remember in the middle of the day, because your teeth start to feel weird, or because you kind of start sweating because of something, because maybe you're just warm, because I'm constantly warm. And they're just like, fuck. I mean, I always carry deodorant in any bag, but it's still very annoying. Me, listening to him talk about the things he's passionate about, even though it makes no sense to me. Yeah, this is what it's like if you have other people with ADHD in your life who have other special interests than you. And you love hearing them talk about it, but you still don't really understand. But honestly, you know how nice it feels if someone listens to you talk about things you're passionate about? So you just sit there like, okay, I'm just glad to see you so happy, but I have no idea what's going on. Constantly. Oh well. Honestly, if you find friends with the same special interests or the same hyperfixation, that's actually pretty brilliant, because then you can rant to each other. When my brain goes on a little adventure instead of being present for the conversation I'm having, and you have no idea where you'll end up, and you're just trying to focus, but it's kind of like trying to wake yourself up from a dream. It can work, but it usually just doesn't. You know? The main story. ADHD is on a side quest. I don't think the main story usually catches up with you as violently as this one will. But listen, the main story is kind of irrelevant because it's not as interesting, so it'll have to wait. Me, hyper-focusing. ADHD. Here, take some burnout. Okay, literally, you try to do the right amount of focus, which doesn't work, and then finally you can hyper-focus on something, because you got really into it. But then your brain's like, also, no, I don't like that either. Why? Just why? Doing my own tasks? No. Helping others with their tasks. It's just easier, Like, especially if it's someone you like. Like, if it's a coworker you don't really get along with well or something, it's still somehow easier to do than your own tasks. But if it's someone you like and you like helping them, then this is even more true. It's just easier somehow. Why does it require less executive function to help do someone else's tasks versus doing your own? Which is why it's always easier to help a friend clean their place, or like tidy up their place, or do the dishes, or whatever, than at your own place. It's such a scam, honestly. Me, waiting for my brain to let me switch tasks. Okay, literally. This is the great thing about home office, because in home office, if it takes a while for my brain to be like, okay, now you can do the other thing, it's kind of fine, because if I sit around for 5 minutes just kind of staring at the wall, it's not noticeable. But if it happens in the office, it's just kind of noticeable that I'm just sitting there, and then I'm stressing myself out with that, which probably doesn't help at all. Me, 0.2 seconds into study, my brain. Hocus pocus, you've now lost focus. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's losing focus if you never had it to begin with. But again, brain, please, just the right amount of focus, just for a bit. Literally, if you study for half an hour and then lose focus, that's cool, at least you got something done. Even if you have focus for 50 minutes, that's fine, at least you get something done. But brain, 0.2 seconds is not long enough, come on. Okay, is this an ADHD thing? Because I'm a doormat, because I struggle with verbal debate. I have trouble remembering facts, so my arguments sound weak and emotional. As a result, I lose confidence in my own thoughts and opinions because my opponents argues they're so much better. Okay, literally, I can't freaking talk. Like, even if I know what I wanted to say, I have such a hard time actually getting the words out. I don't even want to know how many people just think I'm dumb because I can't articulate my thoughts well. Because the thoughts are there, I just can't get them out. Oh well. But honestly, in an argument, that's just so much worse. Because people seem to be very good at arguing and fighting. Oh well. Kind of hopeful that I'll learn it at some point. You know? But I'm not sure. But it's like telling neurotypicals I'm autistic. Yeah, I'm actually autistic. I don't think you are. No, you're hot. Everyone's a bit autistic. But you made eye contact. Immediate infantilizing. You're not like my 5-year-old autistic nephew. Literally, none of these make sense. Literally, what does being hot have to do with it? And also, oh my god. Oh my god. Literally the whole, I don't think you are, or everyone's a bit autistic. Or, but you made eye contact. Like, yeah. Most autistic people can force themselves to make eye contact. That doesn't mean that it's pleasant in any way, shape, or form for them. And they're just doing it because of dickhead people like you, because the second they don't, it's all like, oh, you don't respect me to even look at me while I'm talking to you. Dude, calm down. Literally, just mind your own business. But what is like telling other autistic people that I'm autistic? I'm autistic. Yeah, we know. Yeah. Because they're not as judgmental about to be like, oh, but you don't display the stereotype I have of autism, so you can't be autistic. Because they know that's not what autism is like. Because they live with themselves. You know? Your password is weak. Yeah, because if I have to remember one more thing ever in my life, I will disintegrate into the wind. Yeah, literally. Like, I'm gonna give you this. I don't know if it's helpful to you. I still haven't done it because I didn't want to change my passwords everywhere. But back when I was in school, someone told me that her boyfriend, legit, always has the same password, but not really the same password. He has, if it's for Netflix, like his standard password, and then the word Netflix or streaming behind it or in front of it, and then like all in the same build up. So it's always like his standard password with a dot and then streaming. Standard password, dot, mails, and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's helpful to you to have something. I don't know if you're autistic, maybe just, I don't know, special interest probably like a bit obvious, but honestly, you know, if it helps you remember it, go do that. I haven't been motivated to change my password, so I haven't. And then I get frustrated because I never remember my passwords. Oh well. Okay, I know Halloween's over, but listen. Adult with ADHD. This outfit includes 5 half-full coffee mugs, unfinished craft projects in various stages, random conversation starters, piles of stuff. Does not include car keys or any idea of where they might be, motivation to do anything, sense of time, memory. Okay, listen. I know where my car keys are. I have lost my wallet before though, because I was like, oh, I'll just put it in my backpack, I'll find it again. I did, eventually, but honestly, it's frustrating, but motivation to do anything. Honestly, if I had no motivation to do anything, I feel like it'd be less bad. Because if you have motivation, and you still can't do the thing, which is difficult to display on a short costume description, I know, but listen. Why you gotta call us out like this? Autistics. But you don't look autistic. I know people with autism and you're nothing like them. You don't have it that bad, but you have friends. You're just using it as an excuse. Okay, honestly, the excuse one might be one of the most frustrating things to me, honestly, because I know it seems like that from the outside. I know it seems like an excuse to most people if you say, oh, I can't do this thing because it's just super hard for me. They're just like, you're lying, you're just making up an excuse, you just don't want to do it, like everyone can do it. It was like, I think a lot of people struggle with phone calls, right? It was like, I can't make the phone call. Like, can you please call the doctor for me and make an appointment? Because phone calls are super hard for you, but that's just like, grow up, everyone can do it. You're just lazy, you don't want to. And honestly, it's the most frustrating thing. But listen, neurotypicals, just, my god. Understanding for other people is at like a 0. Oh my god. When you try to end a conversation with a neurotypical, but you don't want to be rude, so it just keeps going. Yeah, some people, in general, are just very immune to it. Because then you try to politely be like, to excuse yourself. And be like, oh, I'm sorry, I have another appointment, like I have to get going or something. Which is like a viable excuse, right? But they don't listen, they just keep talking, and then you just feel rude for saying the same thing, because then they'll snap at you that they heard you the first time, but they're still talking, so they obviously don't care. So sometimes, just be rude. Honestly, if it doesn't stop, just be rude. Try it the polite way, obviously, but if you have to be rude, because otherwise, you're gonna be burnt out for the rest of the day, and you just can't deal with it anymore. Honestly, they're gonna judge you either way, because they did. Like, you have to excuse yourself eventually, right? And they will probably ramble on forever. And unless they're the one to end the conversation, they're probably gonna be mad at you. Which is ridiculous, by the way, and kind of more because of them and not because of you. So, if you have to be rude, be rude. Protect your mental energy. Nobody. ADHD is getting 40 hours of work done in an 8-hour shift because of hyperfocus. I am no longer mentally ill. I am yet to do this. Like, I haven't managed to do this. I've sort of done it by just managing to do everything in like 1 or 2 hours, right? But then the time's suddenly gone, because it usually only hits for me at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, or right before lunch break, which is also just annoying. But honestly, the mental illness will come back, don't worry. Me being labeled gifted at age 12. Me, now, depressed, socially awkward, and a dumbass. I love it when adults call children gifted. Because honestly, in most cases, it's just because they seem so much more mature than other people their age, and seem really smart and intelligent. But honestly, yeah, you might burn out very quickly. Kind of hoping that it doesn't happen to all the gifted children, but I think I'm yet to meet someone who's labeled a gifted kid who isn't depressed or burnt out. When you can finally have a normal conversation because your friend has ADHD too. What do I keep saying? This is literally so true. Because they will forgive you if you interrupt them. And be like, oh my god, the same thing happened to me. Because they do the same thing. And if you tell them the same story 5 times because you forgot if you told them, they'll be like, honestly, I don't know if you told me, but tell me again. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, no, I think you told me before, but I'd forgotten about it already. It's really cool. When you forget that not everyone has ADHD. You know how it's really hard to get out of the bed in the morning? No, it's not. For me, it is. Yeah, literally. If you say, for me, it isn't. Because honestly, for me, personally, it actually isn't. Like, back in school, when I was, like, severely more depressed, yeah, a lot of days, just yes. But I'm not gonna be like, no, it's not hard to get out of bed, right? You just get up. Like, I know how hard it is for a lot of people. Because I can understand that just because something isn't actually difficult for me, that is still difficult for other people. Because I'm not a dumbass. I mean, I'm a dumbass, but I'm not rude. Or that dumb, actually. You know, I'm more of a dumbass and I do things without thinking, and I'm just like, yeah, no, that was not smart. But hey, that's just the ADHD demon. I'm gonna call it that from now on, by the way. I'm afraid of getting into trouble all the time. Like, someone's gonna tell me off for something. You'd think this feeling would pass once I grow up, but it never has. I'm not even doing anything wrong, but I suppose this feeling is a result of trying to constantly fit in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, I keep telling myself because I recently switched job. I say recently, it was a month ago. I quit my old job in May, right? But even now, if something goes wrong at work, I have this feeling of, oh fuck, now they're gonna tell me off. They never will, because it's like, even if you did know better and just made a mistake, it's like, it's fine, we'll just fix it now. But listen, oh my god. I keep hoping this feeling would go away, because logically, you know that you're not doing anything wrong. Or even like in public when you're just... This is the way I used to think I have social anxiety, because I was just so worried people were gonna tell me off for some random things even though I wasn't doing anything wrong. And it doesn't help if old people are grumpy and literally tell you off for something which isn't actually doing something wrong, they're just weird about certain things. Oh well. The autism one today. I almost got hit by a car in the library parking lot because I was looking at a cool beetle. It was a 10-striped June beetle, by the way, if you even care. Okay, honestly, I'm gonna have to include a picture because I don't know bugs. At least you got almost hit. In the sense that at least you didn't get hit. Because usually people in parking lots drive like absolute assholes, but they still don't drive that fast. Did you at least rescue the bug so it doesn't get run over? Because I kind of think you did. When I tell a joke about my special interest, but it's so niche that no one gets the joke, I don't care if I didn't make you laugh. Not everything is for your amusement, dumbass. No, honestly, as long as you find it funny, it's fair. If you find it funny, that's cool. But if other people don't get you, honestly, it's fine. It's fine. I hope that you'll at least have some people who get it, because it's just nice feeling understood, obviously, but honestly, if a lot of other people don't, who cares? Person, let's go out. No. Person, let's go out to eat. Yes. Yeah, literally, I'm not gonna go out. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, no. No. But going out to eat, yes, definitely. Me, whenever I get a new special interest, my old special interest, I don't want to play with you anymore. I'm sorry, old friend. You feel bad about it, but you can't focus on it anymore. And you don't find it interesting at all anymore, so you don't want to engage with it. And it still kind of makes you sad, because you remember how good it felt. Unless you're so caught up in the next one that you don't even really feel it anymore. Autistic people, dogs, hated of loud noises such as the vacuum. Yeah, noise cancelling headphones are my best friend. And I'm not even autistic. Ableists, when they see autistic pride. I'm autistic and I'm proud. Oh my god, stop glorifying autism. But my 5-year-old son with autism is non-speaking and will always need 24/7 support. You don't speak for all autistic people. If you were actually autistic, you wouldn't want to be the way you are. Says the person who doesn't have autism, who doesn't know what it is, or what it's like living with it. Because no one's gonna say that living with autism is easy. But honestly, living in general, it just isn't easy. But honestly, living with autism, it's hard. Living as anyone neurodivergent, or anyone that society deems different because you have different interests, or your brain literally just works differently. Honestly, it's so hard because on top of things being hard for you, you also get weird people who constantly want to give you shit for not trying hard enough or something. And that's just so counterproductive, because people who show pride in being autistic will at the same time point out the things that aren't pleasant about it. And it's like, hey, I deal with all these struggles, but honestly, I'm still proud of it because it's a big part of who I am. And that's not actually glorifying. You know? Trade offer. I receive happiness. You receive 2 hours of me talking about my special interests. Okay, I can't promise you I have the attention span or the ability to focus for that long. But I will try to listen to you for 2 hours. And I will be present for some of that. So if you want to trade, let's do it. Chaos. Routine. My autistic and ADHD-S. Okay, literally, I keep saying I don't have autism. And I keep being called out by memes that are about autism. But literally, because you need routine to function. But you also hate routine. I can't stick to routines because it just feels like a prison, and then I rebel against it and can't do it at all anymore because my brain's just like, no, we're not doing it. No, fuck off. Like, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It just doesn't work. But you need it. But you also need the chaos, because then it's interesting and then you can kind of do things better, right? But honestly, I think the longest I've been able to stick to any kind of routine is like 3 or 4 weeks. And it's supposed to like become a habit by then. Honestly, have you met my brain? Because honestly, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Anyways, I hope all of you felt less called out than I did. Because I keep calling myself out with these videos, but I still do them. Because it's kind of fun. And I like ranting, if you haven't noticed. So I hope you had fun. I hope you had your water, or your tea, or whatever else you chose to drink. And yeah, I will see you in 3 days to remind you again.